Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nessa and I'm an indie author and an entrepreneur, and I publish under the pen name A.N. Sage. I write YA fantasy, some sci-fi, a lot of paranormal fiction, and some dark fantasy now coming out. So if you are an author or if you're an entrepreneur and you're interested in watching more videos on the behind the scenes of being an indie author, as well as a digital artist that I also do as part of my job. If you want to see some behind the scenes of what it takes to really be somebody who works for themselves and builds their own business in today's kind of atmosphere and landscape, then make sure that you are subscribed, because I do put out different types of videos every single week. And once a month, we do a planner type video. I am a big planner aficionado. I love planners. I love anything to do with stationery. It's the little magpie in me. I just love to collect it all. But in today's video, we are actually going to be doing a little goals review from Q1. And I'm also going to show you the goals that I've set up for Q2 for myself. So I'm ready to go. I have my cards that I will show you after. I've got my little water bottle here and I am set. I am losing my voice a little bit. If you are new here, then you should know that I am in the last few weeks of a pregnancy and we are having a baby pretty much any day now. So I am in that stage where you kind of lose your voice, I guess, from talking too much. But I really wanted to put this video out. So if I sound hoarse, I apologize. That's why I have the water here to just kind of keep refreshed. But what we're going to do is dive right into these goals. So if you have seen my previous goals video, the update in this, if you haven't, I will link it in the cards and also down in the description for you. But I have set this up in this kind of makeshift planner here. The cover for this is from the Martha Stewart Staples collection for Tulle. And then I also have these rose gold, which are more pink really, if you think about it, rings from Happy Planner, kind of holding it together. And the planner inside is actually one that I offer in my free resources. So this is just the goals section of the main prolific planner that I offer, and it's completely for free. It's a massive planner. It's got everything you need: monthly planning, weekly planning, budgeting. There's note sections. There's this goal section in there. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. I've designed it myself and it is completely free for you if you want to sign up for my newsletter. Now, I don't bombard people with newsletters. The only emails you'll get from me is when new videos go out or if there's something new I've added to these resources. And if you're an author, there's a lot of author resources there on plotting, character sheets, and things like that. And I'm constantly updating it and adding to it. So if you want to plan in the same planner that you are about to see here for your goals, then go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter, get the link, and download it. And you can print it however many times you want. It's for personal use only, obviously. So not to go over the same setup, I haven't changed anything. It's the same thing that you will see if you looked, if you saw the other video or if you're going to check it out after this. So the setup is all the same. When we get into it, I have my planner belongs to in here, and then the goal section that I've just printed off from the prolific planner and added separately. So to point out, I do really love planning my goals, and I love planning them quarterly because things change, life changes, you never know what's going to happen. But I don't like to be super detailed when planning my goals, because I find that when I go into concrete detail, like super detail, where I plan out every single tiny little task, I don't get things done. And when I don't get things done, I get frustrated and it makes me feel like I failed. And so I look at goal planning as more of an overview, a direction of sort to help guide you throughout every quarter. And that's how I have set up this goal planner section in the prolific planner and how I like to plan. So yearly goals, you saw me setting up this Q1 section. I have 4 goals set up, which is Cauldron Press, and Sage, YouTube, and personal. Now this third goal, I believe in Q3, I will be changing it because I will tell you why in a second. kind of combining it with something else, I think, or shifting it around depending. But for now, for the first 2 quarters, I knew that I wanted YouTube to be kind of one of my goals that I'm always thinking about, because I have just set up and started truly contributing to this channel and growing this community that I love so much, very much this year. So for the second quarter, I go through my yearly goals, and my yearly goals for Q2 are to launch a business webinar that's going to be a free on-demand webinar for digital artists, and that's going under Cauldron Press, because that has a lot to do with digital art and my cover design business and all of that, and just in general with Cauldron Press Academy, which is something where I offer courses to other digital artists. And then the next one that I put on the Cauldron Press for now is an Etsy shop launch. So I say for now because this is kind of where I want to rethink things for Q3. I might not have a YouTube goal for Q3, and I might concentrate on the Etsy shop, but we'll see when we get there. But my Etsy shop launch, it's going to be for digital planning. I am very big into digital planning now. I'm getting more and more into it. I'll talk about it a little bit more as well. But I do want to set up another planner shop. I have had, if you know me, I have had a very successful physical planner shop before on Etsy. And it was successful enough where I was making a full-time income off of it. But because I wasn't ready to leave my actual full-time job at the time I was a director, a senior director in a company. And I was not ready to leave that commitment to run an Etsy shop. I just did not have time, and I let the shop dwindle away. But it was a lot of work. It was physical planners, it was stickers, it was sticker kits. I had subscriptions, and it was doing very, very well. But like I said, I just couldn't do it. I was not in this entrepreneurial mindset that I am today. And so I really loved having that Etsy shop, and I want to get back into it. But I know myself, and I know that we're about to have a tiny little baby and they take up a lot of time. And so I won't have time to be cutting stickers and shipping orders and going to the post office and doing constant redesigns and all of that. And so I still love planning so much, clearly. So I want to go the digital route, and I'm going to start designing my own digital planners. And that's kind of my mat leave project. So as you can see here in the personal section, I just wrote mat leave. And it just says adjust a new life schedule, because I'm not going to be doing any, obviously, personal development. I want this tiny little project of the Etsy shop to be my project during my mat leave for the next quarter, which is the bulk of the next quarter is my mat leave. I will start working again in the middle of May, but I'm only taking on some clients. And so I want to take this off time, sort of off time, I say in quotations, because it won't be off at all. It'll be a new mother. But I want to take that time to do some projects, some fun projects. And then the next fun project I want to do while in Q2, while still kind of half a mat leave, is I'm going to finish drafting Shadowher's book 8, which I've started already. I will link my little plotting kind of video when I did a rough plot already for this book up in the cards. But I want to finish plotting that Shadowher's book 8, and I want to draft it. So I want to do a rough draft in the next quarter, preferably, hopefully, if things go well, fingers crossed, that I will finish drafting that book. It's just going to be a rough draft. There's going to be a lot of work to do after, but that's my kind of main goal for Q2. Then for YouTube, I do want to start recording again. And I need to kind of work on scheduling stuff that I've already pre-recorded, because I have gotten ready for this and I already have all the videos ready to go. So you guys won't miss a week here. And I also want to start promoting YouTube on TikTok. So as you can see, a slightly less of a workload, still a workload, but not so much, more like fun type projects that I'm planning for the next quarter. And that was my goal, was to make it a bit easier for myself, because I just don't know how I'm going to be adjusting and handling things. So a little bit easier is better. So just to do a quick review of each and every single goal. So we're on goal 1 over here. And in my first goal for Q1, so I have actually added, so I've gone through in the first video that we did, you will see this was blank, and I've gone through and I've added some tasks here. So I've added the business promotion, digital design planner, set up Etsy shop, research Etsy success, set up Pinterest, just some ideas for myself, and then some notes. And let's see how I did. So for the quarterly, for Q1, so for the design course, I did very well. I finished all my lead tasks. So these are the main tasks that I have to do. Like I call them lead tasks. That's how I've divided this planner. So I finished all my lead tasks. When it comes to pre-made covers, the quarter is not done yet. So I will have them done. I will not have 12 though. So I haven't checked that off because we're not there yet. But also I will not have 12 done. I guarantee it right now. We only have a couple weeks to go, if not less, before our little girl is here. So I am aiming for 8 at this point, and the rest I can kind of roll out into Q2 if needed. Then I've added Q2 project in here. So I've gone ahead back into here, and I've added the launch business webinar and the Etsy shop launch as my 2 Q2 projects. So usually the way I work it is I have a main project and then I have a small project. And this was probably switched around now because I've actually started working on this webinar already, and it might even be done this quarter, to be honest with you. Probably next week, I think. So my main project will end up being the Etsy shop launch and not the webinar. But my lead tasks are to record, edit, and write the copy for the webinar, and then to upload and promote it. And then for the Etsy shop, it's to design the planner and the stickers, and then set up the actual shop. Then for the Q1 project here, as you can see, pre-made covers, I got nothing. It's blank. I have so far failed that, but hopefully I will catch up before the quarter is done. But for the design course launch, I've got all my smaller project tasks all checked off, which is great. And then I've set up the Q2 project. So I did place Etsy shop launch as the main project on this page here, because I think it will be the main project. So a little bit about it, kind of why I want to do it, just to return Etsy as a source of income. I really had fun doing it, and it was a great source of income, so I'd like to get it back. And then I have my different smaller project tasks, so like research Etsy SEO, research other shops, keyword searches, write the copy, design everything, test them, set up the shop, design the logo. I actually designed the logo already. And kind of the banner, then promotions and all this different stuff. Then for the business webinar, I've kind of made a list of everything I will need to do. And now I have been recording and editing as I go. So that's going to speed this up. And I've already recorded some stuff today, and I have the rest of the week. So I'm actually going to be done recording before the weekend. And I think I can do the copy on the weekend, and upload everything next week. So I think I might be done with this next week, which is going to be amazing. Then in goal 2, which is all of my A Sage books, you can see that on here, again, blank page was what it was before, and I've added some things. So I've done the release already, and then the plot and the draft, and just some ideas, notes for myself. In Q1, I have my little tab here. So it looks like I didn't get any check marks, but I just put them on this side because the tab was in the way. So I did pretty good again. The only thing I'm not done, and we're not done with the quarter, is plotting the new book quite yet. But I have done my Facebook ads. This is for the things the river hides for the release. I've done my social promos. I've done my online tours. And now for the new project, which was my mini project for Q1, my lead task was to plot the new book, which is the whole task. And I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite there yet. Now for Q2, I went ahead and went back to my yearly again. And I've transferred this into here, which are my 2 projects. So my main one will be a draft, and the finished plotting will be, it's just backwards. I don't know why I wrote it this way. No, I'm just going to take some water, sorry. But my main one will be to draft the actual book, book 8 in Shadowhurst, the last book in the series. I'm very excited. And then my small project will be to finish plotting it because it's not quite done, and I think it's going to roll into Q2 at this point. My lead tasks will be to plot the scenes, and actually I will add scene plotting plus characters because I actually will need to plot the characters as well, like their arcs and all of that. I will need to do a Scrivener setup for the plotting, and then I have to write the first draft, and I'll need to do a Pinterest setup, a new Pinterest setup for this book, or add a Pinterest setup for this particular book. Now, if we look at my projects for Q1, before we move into Q2, my main one was the release of the things, the River Heights, and it is done. And I'm so proud of this book. If you haven't read it, and if you're into YA contemporary, like kind of darker fantasy that's based on folklore, then make sure you check it out. I'll leave a link for that book. But the release has been going really well, and I'm super proud of it. So I have done all of that, and now this called it new project because I wasn't sure which project it was going to be, but it is Shadowhurst Book 8. So I've only so far done the setting up of the notebook and the rough plot. I still have to do all of that plotting, which I have not done. But the world development will be probably non-existent for the most part, just a couple notes. Same with history and politics development. Same with the research for the characters, because this is book 8, so I wasn't sure what this new project was going to be. So this is all if I was starting a new book, but because I'm on book 8 in the series now, plus a novella, I don't really need to develop it so much. Under character development, I'm just going to have their arcs developed, and that's it. But everything else is pretty much done, right? So that's going to save some time. Now, for my Q2 project, as you can see, Draft Shadowhurst 8 is my main project, which is close that series. The point of it, like a kind of a bit of a note that we're going to close the series and mark it as complete and move to new projects. I also want to do a box set offer of some sort after I get this final book done. And I don't know if it will be 2 box sets of 4 books each. Or all 8 together. I mean, some of them are longer books, so I might not be able to do all 8 together in one box set. So I'm going to see how I can work that out. But essentially, I have some project tasks here, which is set up Scrivener. I know it usually goes under plotting, but I kind of just put it in here. Do some final research, and then draft all chapters and do a rough edit on all chapters. So a lot of times, what I will do is I will write one day, the next day I will do a rough edit of what I wrote, and then write again. And then that's kind of how I go through it. So that's my tasks, my mini tasks, not the lead tasks like we always do here. The lead task has a bulk of the task, and then I've narrowed it down to these mini tasks, or as many for me as I like. And then the smaller project, which is finished plotting, and it's character plotting, scene plotting, and I need to reread all the POVs from book 7. I don't need to reread the whole book. It's still pretty fresh in my mind, but I need to reread all of the POVs just to kind of like get a sense of how the voice for each character was. Then we go into goal number 3, which is the YouTube channel for this quarter still. I did add notes for myself here, some more notes here. I kind of want to make some more business related videos, just notes for like entrepreneur life videos, because I think that will be really relevant to people as well, not just to authors, but just to other creatives as well, which I think will be really fun to see how things that we do as indie authors, how it applies to other creatives, because I have all these other creative businesses that I run. I'm about to add more. My mind works in that kind of multi way as a creative. So it's not just for authoring. And I think all the tips that I have, everything I've learned as an indie author can be transferred to all other types of creative entrepreneurship. So I think it will be fun to do some more videos in that way. And hopefully you guys might be interested in passive income streams and like all of that kind of stuff of how you can expand your portfolio as a creative. So not just to have it be an author. So that might be fun to do. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be into too, because if you're not, then I won't do it. But I thought it might be fun to do. And then if we look at my Q1 project, I did very well. So I set low expectations, of course, but I got them done. I had weekly videos without a problem. I did new channel art. I did my social promos, and I batch recorded even more than 8 videos actually. So I'm ready to go. So I did very well. For Q2, moving from the yearly here, I have my main project would be to do some new recordings and to work on batching out on the batches that I already have. So I need to edit them and pre-schedule them. And then do a TikTok integration. I'm calling it an integration. It's just me promoting it to my TikTok. It's not really an integration, but it was just seemed faster to write those 2 words than the whole sentence. So my lead tasks are to record 8 to 12 videos in Q2. We'll see how that goes with the baby. And then to pre-schedule the current batch that I have. I will start on that probably earlier just to get it going. And then to promote on TikTok. So if you go back into Q1 for the YouTube goal, I did very well. I got it all done. And I got it all pretty much done. I didn't edit or upload. I'm going to do a lot of it this week and this weekend, probably half of it. And the other half I will do the week after. So I will have it done this quarter. But I did do very well in that I recorded everything I needed to get recorded. Now for my Q2 project, I put new videos and batching. And it's just, the note is just to get back to recording new material during mat leave, diversify the channel to include more entrepreneur and business content, and in order to help other creative fields as well, and to bring them into our little community here. And then some of the tasks I have are to record 8 to 12 videos, pre-schedule the end of April videos, pre-schedule early May videos, to create some new batch folders. So I need to organize my hard drive and my computer and get batch folders going, and to research some new ideas for videos. Actually, if you guys have anything that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comment. I would love to know what you want me to talk about, because this ideas, like I have some ideas, but I want to make sure that whatever I talk about is something you're interested in, obviously. So it's important to me to continue to help people and be helpful and just be transparent about everything. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, discuss, or make a video about, please put it in the comments and I'll add it to this list. So when I'm creating these videos, I kind of have something to go by that I know for sure somebody will want to watch and listen to. And then for the TikTok integration, it's I need to set up like a video style of how I'm going to do these promotions, and then just do weekly promotions for the videos on TikTok. We'll see how that goes, because TikTok is hectic. So we'll see. For personal life, I don't really have much, right? I didn't make any task notes here in the notes. I just kind of like made random notes for here. So I did not do all that great on my Q1 project. So my work-life balance, when I said I wasn't going to work on weekends, I did okay. I did give myself a check mark because I worked less on weekends. So let's say that. But be more active. I did not walk as much as I wanted to. For those that don't know, I live in Canada. It got really freezing cold here. And when I got bigger in size, because my belly grew, my jacket would not zip up anymore. I had a bigger size jacket and it just wouldn't zip up anymore. And it was so icy out there and so dangerous for like a pregnant lady to be waddling around that I couldn't walk 3 times. What I did do though, is I started doing like at home kind of like easy yoga. So, if you didn't know before this, and of course, before like everything that happened with COVID and places shutting down, but I was a very avid hot yoga person. I went like 4 or 5 times a week. I loved it. We have a studio nearby. I think they're just starting to open. So maybe, hopefully, sometime in the future, I can start going back. But I tried to implement that more into like doing it at home when the whole the pandemic thing started. But it was really hard and it wasn't the same. And I really missed like the environment and having like the instructor and the hot room and all of that. So just kind of that structure that I found it hard to do any kind of yoga on my own at home. But since I couldn't walk at all, I still needed to stay somewhat active. What I ended up doing is introducing that more into my kind of home exercise and doing small, tiny little things every single day. So I guess I could give myself a check mark there, even though it wasn't the walking I wanted to do. But for Q2, as you can see, I gave myself nothing to do. My only goal for personal life for Q2 is to take care of this cute little baby when she gets here, and, you know, try to get some sleep every once in a while. So I don't want to give myself any more goals than I need to. But if we go back again, I did pretty good on the work-life balance. I didn't spend more time on my practice. So I'm a very witchy person, and I do have like a moon following practice. And I found that with the pregnancy, I've kind of fell off of it just because I'm always trying to catch up with things and I didn't have as much energy. So that's something that maybe I will have more time to do when I'm on mat leave. So that could be like a development project, but I just don't want to put anything down on paper that I might not be able to do. And then as you can see, the weekly walks, epic fail. And then for Q2 project, mat leave, no personal task, enjoy this time. That's all I have. I have done nothing else. This is going to stay empty and I am fine with it staying empty. So those are my goals. These are my goals for the second quarter. They're a little bit less. I mean, I do have projects in there, so we'll see how it goes. But for the most part, they're a little bit less, and I am fine with it. And I have actually gone ahead and I've created my goal cards that I can put up on my board, and I'll put a picture somewhere like right here, right now, of what it looks like with all of these on there. So I just have all my Q2 goals transferred from here onto these little cards that are going to be clipped onto my board for me to kind of see, and they're going to go right underneath my Q1 goals so I can see everything that I have done in Q1 and everything I'm planning to do in Q2. And it's just going to be a nice kick in the butt and an inspiration. And as I'm planning my months, it'll become more and more helpful to look at these regularly, especially because I'm sure in the first little while I will be forgetful and not as many things will get done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these up on the board, take a picture for you guys. I'm going to edit this video and get it all scheduled for tomorrow, because today is Wednesday when I'm recording it. And as always, I hope you found this helpful and that you're liking these kind of quarterly planning videos. I really like doing them. They help keep me accountable to my goals by sharing them with you guys to show you in brutal honesty what I have done, what I haven't done. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stay magical, and I will see you next week. Bye.